What started as a relatively simple story of a boy trying to save his friends in a series of interconnected Disney worlds has ballooned into a massive, complex, and often confusing series that has forever taught us how to be simple and clean with the help of some Disney pals. There is a lot of story to cover from the franchise in a very small window, so of course feel free to direct your anger at whatever was left out to me over on Twitter. But with that said, this is Kingdom Hearts in 5 minutes. Sort of.
So you have come this far, and still you understand nothing.
More than a century before the events of Sora's journey began, 5 factions of Keyblade Masters named Foretellers lived in harmony, but they began to fight shortly after their leader, subtly named the Master of Masters, leaves and they begin to think there may be a traitor in their midst. A giant Keyblade war breaks out, leading to the really cool and really grim Keyblade graveyard. Meanwhile, the Master of Masters' other apprentice, Luxu, is out in the desert ensuring events unfold as they do in the Book of Prophecies. Hopefully Kingdom Hearts 3 will surely answer what he's up to. Probably. Maybe. Fast forward decades later to Kingdom Hearts' birth by sleep and the stories of 3 Keyblade wielders, Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, training under Master Ericus. There's also another obviously evil Keyblade Master, Master Xehanort, who sabotages Terra and Aqua's Mark of Mastery exam. Aqua eventually passes, but Terra is deemed to have too much darkness in his heart, which Xehanort tempts him into embracing. All 3 of Ericus' students eventually go off on their own adventures to various Disney worlds to fight the Unversed, occasionally crossing paths with King Mickey. Their adventures include some subtle foreshadowing as Aqua and the others run into Kairi, Sora, and Riku. Trouble finds them, however, when Ericus dies thanks to Xehanort's meddling, and he also reveals his plans to use Ven's heart to create the ultimate Keyblade and open Kingdom Hearts. Eventually, they all find themselves at the Keyblade graveyard where a battle breaks out and things turn south. Ven merges with Vanitas, Xehanort's apprentice who is created from Ven's inner darkness, forming an incomplete Keyblade while Xehanort transfers his heart into Terra's body. Ven eventually destroys Vanitas, Terra's mind lingers inside a suit of armor, and Aqua shatters the Keyblade. Ven falls into a deep sleep and Aqua hides him away before going to save Terra's body from being consumed by darkness, but Xehanort has other plans. Terra sacrifices himself, falling into darkness instead. Terra Xehanort ends up in Radiant Garden, where he goes on to become the apprentice of a man named Ansem. Ventus' heart eventually finds its way to the Destiny Island, where it merges with Sora's heart, which brings us to the original Kingdom Hearts. Finally, Sora, now a decade older, longs to leave the island for adventure with his best friends Riku and Kairi, who he's totally in love with. Adventure or destiny comes to them, however, when one dark and stormy night the islands come under attack by the Heartless. Sora finds himself in possession of the Keyblade, but it's too late for his home. Darkness pulls them away, throwing the trio to the winds. Sora winds up in a place called Traverse Town, where he meets Donald Duck and Goofy, who have been sent by King Mickey after he has disappeared to find the key. Well, Sora's carrying a big key around, so they work together to find their missing friends. They travel around locking keyholes in various Disney worlds to prevent Heartless from taking over. Meanwhile, a group of Disney villains led by Maleficent is kidnapping Disney princesses to harness the power of Kingdom Hearts. Along with them is Riku, who has embraced their darker ties partly because Maleficent has promised to help find Kairi while also convincing him that Sora has abandoned him. Everyone finds their way to Hollow Bastion, which was once Radiant Garden, where Sora, Donald, and Goofy destroy Maleficent but find Riku acting emo. He's been possessed by someone named Ansem, who looks an awful lot like Terra Xehanort. Sora fights and defeats him, who reveals Kairi's heart has been trapped in Sora's body. Realizing Hollow Bastion will never be saved without her heart, Sora strikes himself with the Keyblade, freeing his and her hearts and also turning himself into a Heartless. Sora makes his way back to his body with the help of Kairi's heart, and the group sets off to the end of the world to fight and finally defeat Ansem. There, the big bad opens the door to Kingdom Hearts, revealing its light, which, hey, kills Ansem. Behind the door are Riku and Mickey, who help Sora close the door from the other side, reconstructing all the destroyed worlds in the process. The worlds are saved, but Sora and the gang decide to find their friends. Inside Castle Oblivion, Sora finds his memories of Kairi being replaced by a girl named Naminé, who's working for a shadowy group called Organization 13. Luckily, Sora takes out half the group, and Naminé, who's actually a good guy, offers to restore his memories by putting Sora, Donald, and Goofy into these cool sleep pods. Why is Naminé willing to help? Well, she's Kairi's nobody. When people's hearts are separated from their bodies, some cause both a Heartless and Nobody to be created. All of the members of Organization 13 are nobodies too. Sora, Donald, and Goofy eventually awaken, specifically after Sora's nobody Roxas merges back with Sora. The 3 set off on another quest, this time to find Riku and prevent Organization 13 from completing their evil plan of harnessing Kingdom Hearts so they can get their hearts back. Anyway, Organization 13 is led by Xemnas, who is Xehanort's nobody, while Ansem was Xehanort's Heartless. The real Ansem is actually Ansem the Wise, the man who is Xehanort's mentor. He has been guiding Riku after he too awoke in Castle Oblivion, and together with Sora, the two of them tackle Xemnas, seemingly stopping Organization 13's plan for good. Unfortunately, darkness still lingers. Anticipating Xehanort's return, Yen Sid has Sora and Riku take the Mark of Mastery exam, during which Sora contends with Xehanort, whose reformed Organization 13 includes all his forms throughout time. He wants Sora to be a vessel for him, the 13th member of a new organization. The boy is saved, but not made a Keyblade Master by Yen Sid. Yen Sid sends Riku and Mickey off to save Aqua from the Dark World, while Yen Sid tasks Sora with training after his brief flirtation with darkness left him stripped of many of his powers. He'll head off to train and presumably fight alongside the other Guardians of Light against Terra, Xehanort, Xemnas, Ansem, Billy Zane one last time in Kingdom Hearts 3, which actually comes out really soon. For more, be sure to check out our Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Battle trailer, as well as our preview of Kingdom Hearts 3 and how it recaptures that Disney magic. And of course, for everything else Kingdom Hearts 3, you're already in the right place, IGN.